Good morning. I was completely alone last night, which is always surprising to where the places I think I'm going to be alone, it's all crowded, and then when I think I'm in a spot where it's going to be all crowded, I'm totally alone. But today we got just over 14 miles, and that'll get us up to Stevens Pass, where we'll be looking to hitch to the town of Leavenworth. Passing by this rock slide area, massive sized boulders, bigger than cars. And there's one up close, almost as big as a house. Well, this just turned into a really steep climb. I think it's less than a mile though. Crossed over to the other side. Beautiful sunrise. Here's the next valley. There's Trap Lake. I think we have to cross like 4 valleys or something before we end up at Stevens Pass, which is way over that way. And now for a big descent on down. Finally got a pika up close that's not running away. A cute little thing. Found a marmot up here too. Not too many of these guys around. Most of these plants up here are a lot of blueberries and huckleberries, but they don't seem to be as ripe or as plump as what we saw south of Snoqualmie Pass. All the ones up here are just kind of mediocre, not worth tasting. I keep thinking this is the perfect type of area to where you could just see a moose or a bear or something just come right out of the trees. Just beautiful up here. Here's Mig Lake. More steep uphills. Haven't had a steep climb like this in a long time. I think we're at the top. That was the steepest climb in the state of Washington. We got one more of those to do, and then we're done for the day. And now we're dropping into the next valley. Starting the last steep hill climb for the day. More than a mile to the top, I think. Still making our way up. Not as steep as the last climb, which is good. I've been seeing more and more day hikers. So we're getting much, much closer to Stevens Pass, just on the other side of this hill. Almost to the top.
We are over the top and onto the last side. All downhill from here. 2 miles. Stevens Pass. Down there somewhere. Doesn't look like there's too many amenities down at the pass. There's a lodge and a restaurant in the lodge, but I think I'm just gonna work on getting a hitch into Leavenworth as soon as I get down there. I don't think I plan on staying and grabbing any snacks or anything. First views of Stevens Pass. You got the ski lifts, you got a lodge, and that's about it, I think. But from here we got about a half a mile left, and I think this dumps out into a parking lot. We've seen enough people coming and going. I don't think it'll take too long to get a hitch, but we'll see. I don't know, still could take a while. Coming down to the parking lot. See a bunch of cars, don't see many people. I don't know, I'll float around. Maybe I'll hang out at the lodge. I'll just check back when I get to town. Made it to town. I'm in Leavenworth. I'm at the Hampton Inn and Suites. This is a very weird little town. It's, you know, everything's got this weird Bavarian style to it. Definitely looks different than other towns in the States. But, oh, let's see what else. I gotta get all cleaned up. Out of Stevens Pass, I think it took like 30 minutes to get the hitch. And then the ride down to here took a while. There was a lot of construction. They're resurfacing the whole road, so it took like almost an hour to get all the way down here. 50 minutes at least. But I'm kind of on the east side of town, so there's not many food options right near me. So I'm gonna get cleaned up real quick. There's laundry facilities here. And then I think I'm gonna wander back to town, which might be like a mile walk, just to get a bite to eat somewhere. But it's definitely lots of German food, lots of beer type of stuff. So I'll check back in when we're getting ready to go somewhere else. And now I'm all cleaned up. I think the first task is going to be heading back into town. A little bit of a walk, I think, to get to the restaurants, so looking for food. And then on the way back, the Safeway's right next door to here, so I know what I need for the next resupply run, so I think I'm going to do the shopping on the way back. And then when I get back to the hotel, I'll show you all what I got and what the next stretch is going to look like. So let's go get some food. The whole town is decked up like this. Not very crowded in here. Got a cider to start with. The main course is going to be the Jaeger Schnitzel. This looks amazing. Resupply is next. Back in the room, here's what the next go around looks like. Depending on how quick I can get out of here and get breakfast before trying to hitch, maybe only a 16-mile day to a Tentsite. 21.8 to a Tentsite, 19 to a Tentsite, almost 22 to a Tentsite, and then 20.5 up to the Swamp Creek area. And that's 5 days. That next morning is an 8-mile hike into High Bridge Camp. That's where we can get catch a bus into Stehekin. I'm not going to stay there just based on these distances. I'm just going to just resupply in and out. I really only need like a day's worth of stuff in Stehekin. So 1 breakfast, 8 snack bars, 1 dinner, and then take a bus back to High Bridge Camp, and then maybe only do another 5 miles out of there to a camp up there. And then it's only 14 miles from there up to Rainy Pass, where we can hitch into the town of Mazama. Or further out east would be the town of Winthrop. I think I'm going to stay in Winthrop because it's a little bit bigger of a town and they got hotel accommodations and stuff. It's possible that Rainy Pass is the farthest north we can get just based on the fires. So I think I can safely-ish get up to there and then I'll have to reassess. But right now there's a bad fire growing just north of here to the east of the trail, and I can see heavy smoke in the distance. So we'll play it safe and see if we can get around this first one. And here's what my food looks like for 5 days and just a little bit to get up through to Stehekin. I've got the breakfast, the Little Bites, and the Pop-Tarts, a bunch of bars to get up there. Dinners, we got mashed potatoes and the tuna packets. This is going to be a lot of food, kind of on the heavy side. I don't think I'm going to go out for dinner. We kind of had a late lunch, early dinner. So I just grabbed some extra snacks with these protein shakes, and I've got some other leftovers and stuff I can snack on. So for now, I'm going to take care of laundry, and while that's going, I'm just going to work on video editing and trying to get videos uploaded, so I'm going to be doing that for the next couple hours until bedtime. So I'll just check back later. Got my laundry done. I'm ready to rock. Got all the other chores done. I'm going to close out this video and just work on editing for the rest of the night. So thanks for watching. We'll be back on trail. We'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. Slept fine last night. I think from here the goal is to get all my stuff packed up. I've got enough breakfasts here, so I'm not going to go out and find anything. And then maybe by 7:30, check out. I'm kind of on the wrong end of town to be hitching. This is the place that's right next to the grocery store, but it's not really close to anything else. So I got to do like a 2-mile walk to get to the other end of town. Would be optimal for hitchhiking. So I think if I get set up there by 8 or so, that might be a good time for trying to get a ride out of here. But I'm feeling totally lazy and like I want to sleep in and just slow roll it out of town, but I got to get some miles in at the same time. Plus it was like at least a 45-minute drive just to get back up to the pass. So I think 8 o'clock or so will work. But it's like 6:30 right now, so I'm going to enjoy my breakfast and pack up, and I'll check back in once we're heading out of here. Well, I'm all packed up, ready to go. It's time to check out, do the walk across town, try to hitch. I'm just going to check back in once I eventually get back up to Stevens Pass, so I'll see you back up there. Disappearing back into the woods, Stevens Pass. That was probably the luckiest hitch I'd ever gotten on the entire trail. I still had to do like the 2-mile road walk, but I was about 0.1 from that edge of town where I was going to get set up, and a guy in a pickup truck just pulled over and was like, "You look like a hiker who's going up to Stevens Pass." So he was a guy who was heading up this way anyway, just doing some day hiking. So I didn't even have to stick my thumb out, he just picked me up. That was great. So we are on trail earlier than what I was thinking, which is great. So I think we can do miles as planned. Don't have to worry about that. And we'll see what today looks like. Probably the usual ups and downs. Good water sources starting out. And we are flat and easy for the first couple of miles, it looks like. This is a surprise change of pace. I've been noticing these kind of pine cones for the last couple of days. These things are hard as rocks and falling out of the trees. But often the squirrels and chipmunks are able to chew these up, and there's not much left once they get to them. Here's Nason Creek. Lots of water so far going up, which is nice. And we're definitely on our way up a big uphill. Luckily, so far up in this area, there's no smoke from the fires, but there was definitely smoke blowing into the town of Leavenworth this morning. The nearest fire is somewhere by the Wenatchee River, which is going to be east of trail. I think we're going to be closest to it kind of today, end of today, and into tomorrow. About 10 miles from here is a mountain called Grizzly Peak, and we'll be going up and over that one. And if we can get views out to the east, we should have a clear shot of where the fires are at. But luckily for the trail, the fires and the smoke and everything is blowing out east away from the trail at the moment. Down there is Lake Valhalla. We're kind of circling around that one a little bit. A little bit better overlook view of Lake Valhalla. I've been running across a lot of day hikers coming up the trail the opposite direction, but they're all like back to back bunched up. Like there's a
parking lot side trail just less than a mile from here that I don't know about. Seems like I'm pretty remote in the middle of nowhere. But all these day hikers are flooding up the trail. That whole last stretch from Snoqualmie to Stevens Pass was pretty rough. Lots of rocks and stuff, steep ups and downs. But today's been super easy. Easy ups and downs. Not really any rocks. It's just been nice and smooth going. Starting the climb up to Grizzly Peak, about 4.5 miles. There's another one of the original trailblazes. I've only seen like 3 or 4 out here. Some of the first little views out to the east, that's down towards the Wenatchee River Valley. There's definitely a forest fire burning out there. Bunch of little patches. That's not that far away, that's only a few miles. Just another overlook with some more of the fire areas. It's burning up that hillside. And then over that way, still covered in smoke. Yeah, that's definitely Glacier Peak. We'll be hiking really close to that one. We're almost to the top of Grizzly Peak. There's looking out towards the south. You can still see Mount Rainier. Here's the top of Grizzly Peak. I guess more so just a little bit over that way. And there's out towards the south. Not much of a direct view from right up here. Alright, so from here, it's all downhill. I'm going to go a little bit further than my intended site, I think, just because we've been moving pretty good today. We had a good early start. So I think we got 3 miles left. And there should be some water and tenting down there. Man, this is just amazingly beautiful up here. Birds chirping. This is why I'm slowing down. I don't want this to end. I got less than 200 miles left. I'm less than a mile to camp, making my way downhill. And I'm just pointing out, still seeing trillions of blueberries. I've been stopping and filling up. These ones are good to go. There was a whole bunch I was seeing that were not ripe yet, but yeah, look at that one. It's fresh mountain blueberries. Here's camp. We are in a perfect little spot. Tucked away, kind of hidden. The trail's almost a 0.1 up that way. And there's like a hidden water source spring pooled up just a little bit further, a couple 100 feet that way. This is a great little spot. You can squeeze a couple tents in there. I'm just gonna get some water, fill up, get dinner going in a bit. Got my dinner all cooked up. Mashed potatoes and tuna. It's perfect as always. Still nobody else in the area. I only saw 2 through hikers all day today. There was the one decent sized group where all the day hikers were kind of getting on trail, but otherwise it's been really quiet today. Not a lot of hikers around. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 trickle in later, but so far, all alone, it's going to be awesome. This is a really cool little spot. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.